Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator, with today's Earth Day video. And I am the person who has the light years best environmental education and agenda the world needs. It's just no environmental voice has allowed solutions since November '93, starting with Vail, Gore, Redford, Sundance, the NRDC, and the United Nations. And now, decades later, it's 28 and a half years later, um, it, so many people have, taken it upon themselves to solve the problem because everybody who's been on the job for decades has proven themselves to be complete failures. It is proven. Everyone who has been soliciting money, taking donations, paying themselves, being on the government payroll, being in companies, doing sustainability in companies, they have proven themselves complete failures by every global report, by everything, by the report that I did a video the other day that 50% of America's waterways are too polluted to fish, drink, or swim in. Okay? They're failures. And so now, right here, music is getting in on it. Not that musicians, like Chris Martin right here, that's Chris Martin, I think, from Coldplay, and they've been out there using their voice, but will they allow solutions? Well, I can assure you Coldplay won't. I can assure you Bono's One and his Rise Fund won't. Well, so now we're going to find out about other musicians because Brian Eno, he is a music producer. I'm not even sure he's worked with. It's in here with U2, most prominently. U2 and Coldplay are people he's really worked with. He's he's collaborated with everybody. Okay, Bowie, David Byrne, this guy knows everybody. Okay, so he has now taken it upon himself to solve this problem. He's taking this very seriously. He discussed with REM singer Michael Stipe his new EarthPercent here, and he wants musicians to donate a small a percentage of an unknown song's royalties, and so that he hopes it will become an annual campaign is what the charity is. And he down here he says, look, if you want to find a simple way of joining the climate struggle, this might be the answer. We're a shortcut to a lot of things that otherwise might be fairly hard to do, you know. And he references Coldplay's Music of Spears World Tour, which places an emphasis on environmental sustainability. Now, Coldplay, they played at Will and Kate, the Royals Earthshot Prize that happened in the fall, maybe November of last year. It was their first one, and they, gave awards to people that are doing great work. But I can assure you, the awards they gave are for work that is minimal. And while the Royals are refusing the solutions the world needs too, and so is in Coldplay. I don't have time to ask every single person every day, but here's some communications I've sent to Coldplay. I said, yeah, I heard you won't do a tour until there's environmental solutions on the environmental 911 call the world needs, and our disposable society. From homes to fast food to stadium concessions. Where do they play? Oh, in stadiums, right? I'm the Royals bullseye. This is January 25th, 2020. And then I just finish it out here. And then, well, your message has been sent. This is January 26th, 2020. I, emailed him again. And, something about Bono in here. Bono won't lead. Well, Bono's one, and Bono's the Rise Fund won't. And I tell them all the time, get this to Bono, your head guy. And now I'm telling that to Brian Eno, as you'll see here. But Again, my message has been sent. So February 3rd, 2020, yeah, hey, yeah, my message was sent. So, you know, Coldplay could have stepped up to the plate and used their voice for actual real solutions. They could have, but no. They partnered with the Royals and they went out and they got a lot of press. They played at that awards ceremony because oh my God, they all care, they all care. Now you know what? The stadiums and the Royals, right? Wimbledon, where they have a box, they sit front and center watching the tennis. Now, that stadium could lead with reusable stadium concessions, but what does Brian, Coldplay talk about? Oh, just, solar installations at every venue. The tour's eco-friendly measures including, include cutting direct emissions by 50% compared to the band's last tour and using 100% renewable energy and having solar installations at every venue. Well, okay, you know what else you can use? Oh, that's right. How about ending reusable stadium concessions? Something no one's talking about but is needed. And how about ending global environmental illiteracy and leading by example? And solar energy, that's so easy. That's so easy. Cutting your emissions, it's pretty easy. So isn't this? It's just no one will do it. No one's talking about it. But Coldplay, they could have said to the Royals, hey, you know what, Royals, listen, we're going to play your gig, but you know what? We've been presented light years better that we're refusing and that you're refusing. And why don't we actually step up to the plate and actually achieve our goals and actually do good for the world and our kids' future? But no, 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 no. Okay, so but Brian Eno, he partners up with these people, and Brian said their contribution's really important. They've taken the matter very seriously and are committed a lot of resources to it. Oh, okay. They are at the front of this in terms of saying we still want to play people. So what do we do? Okay, well, I've told you, Coldplay has been very conscientious and intelligent. Actually, see, at the time that Brian said this, he did not know what Coldplay had been refusing. But as you'll see, I've been sending him emails letting him know. Okay, because this is not true. But I'm asking Brian to make sure that they actually, do what we needs to be done. So what do we do? They ask the question, so what do we do? I've been telling them what to do. They speak to an environmentally illiterate audience. They themselves are environmentally illiterate if all they're talking about is cutting emissions and solar installations. Okay? And it's very easy. It's very, very easy. Live Earth. Remember that? Al Gore had the concerts like, on every continent. Oh, I begged and begged and begged and begged for that concert to lead. No, absolutely not. So, and all of these people, of course, they pal with Gore. And I mean, oh, let me see, something at the Royal Garden in Kensington. Is that, I don't know if that's Kensington Palace, where isn't that where Will and Kate live? Or the Royal Garden Hotel. Okay, pretty close to where Will and Kate live. So Michael Brian Eno, he made this big announcement, and I have now said, hey Brian, hey, how about let's get on this. Here's his EarthPercent. That's the organization that wants to. EarthPercent is a charity providing a simple way for the music industry to support the most impactful organizations addressing the climate emergency. See, now this has become an emergency because all environmental voices have refused solutions since November of 1993, and now that includes Bono's One that started May 16th, 2004. Okay, that's almost 20 years ago. So why do we have a climate emergency? Because not only has every environmental voice out there and everybody who's paid to solve this problem and solicits donations pretending to care. And if only there were solutions. Bono's one has created this emergency by refusing to use its voice. Bono's voice telling the world, hey guys, listen, this is what we have to do. I ended my global environmental illiteracy. I understand so much more. That has impacted how I live my daily life. Now I'm being much better leadership by example. And I've got stadiums that we play at leading the world with reusable stadium concessions, and how about him, people? Yeah, Bono could have used his voice for that. He absolutely could have. Imagine if Bono had been saying that for years. Okay, this wouldn't have escalated to a climate emergency, and Brian Eno wouldn't have to be spending his time out here pretending to work for it. So, how does EarthPercent work? They want to encourage artists and music-related organizations to pledge a small percentage of their income to EarthPercent. This percentage can be collected at source and diverted to EarthPercent, where it will be directed to the most impactful organizations dealing with climate change. Well, yeah, we'll see about that. Um, Currently, less than 2% of global philanthropic funding is dedicated to addressing climate change, not nearly enough to meet the scale and the global challenge. We could have already solved this problem. This 2%, that's still a lot of money. Okay, you know what? And it could be doing other good, because if anybody allowed solutions, we wouldn't still be spending money trying to solve our environmental problems. And so now Brian Eno can do it. His mission is to give direct and meaningful support to those at the forefront. Oh, listen to this, of course, climate justice, while reducing our impact on the planet as an industry and part of a global society. Climate justice? No. You know what? 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 Justice for who? Justice for what? That's just a buzzword out there today that means nothing. Okay? We just need solutions and stop Mickey Mousing around with idiocy like this. Okay. So, there we go. I just love that planet. Oh my God. I look at that every day. I have flags hanging in my house. I just look at it. Oh, it's beautiful. So they're going to raise money from music industry to fund the most credible and impactful climate actions and environmental causes that deliver transformative change. Raise money, build community, take action. Well, there's no better way to build a community than end global environmental illiteracy. So they're going to improve the environmental impacts of the music industry, reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and supporting clean energy. Oh, secure climate justice and fair environmental stewardess. Well, climate justice, just shut up about it, okay? Advancing systematic economic, legal, and policy change. Protecting, conserving, and restoring nature. Okay, well, that's great. It sounds good. The future depends on us having a healthy planet, but our actions are severely damaging the environment. We need to act now to keep our planet and communities clean, healthy, and thriving for generations to come. Many within the music industry want to do something to address the climate crisis, but simply don't know how, which is why EarthPercent is working with scientists and experts to identify and fund the most promising solutions. Brian Eno. Okay, so yeah, that just sounds good. And so here's their Earth Day. They're just, asking people to put out a track, and then we're asking big artists to we're asking artists big and small to release a previously unheard track via Bandcamp to raise money and awareness for EarthPercent. So, yep, so Brian's going to raise this money, and then he's going to dole it out. And that's basically what Brian Eno has set up. So, me being me, now this is right here, the first email that I sent to Brian has one. It has the Rise Fund here. And I just, you can read this. I tell him what the world needs. I tell him who Bono and One have been preventing it, the Rise Fund. I tell him, get this to Bono and to other musicians and Coldplay. Okay. And so, if you want to, you can read this. I give him some of uh, some of relevant videos. Um, right here, I tell him, I'm going to do a video on this someday. I was in Seattle in 2017 and at U2, and Bono, the Gates apparently were in the audience, and Bono was praising Bill Gates for all the good work he does and how he's inspired Bono, and I have to sit there and listen to this while Bono and Bill Gates had been preventing the solutions the world needs for a very long time now, or Bono's one. I don't believe this has ever gotten to Bono. I have to believe now that it is Brian Eno's responsibility to get this to Bono. So if Bono doesn't have this, then Brian Eno just needs to close his doors. Okay. And if he's not going to get on board this, then he just really needs to close his doors too. Because as I told him in an email here, you're just going to be another organization that's open for 20 years and still screaming louder for more desperately needed solutions while you're refusing what the world needs. So step up and do what the world has refused for 20 years. But, I tell them to, get this to Bono and to the other artists. And there's no doubt about it. It is what the world needs. It's decades late, but as I told Gore since the mid 90s, the best we can do to um, is start today. So that was my first email to him. That was on the 18th. On the 19th, I I bring in some of his what he says here on his website, EarthPercent website, and again, you can read this if you want. The world needs your immediate and full cooperation. So yeah, yeah, and then I show him something else that his website says, and it's the 911 call the world needs. Will you dial? If not, give it a rest. Okay, it can't be argued against, and you can see that there. And then, oh, we can and will make the change. Okay, well, here you go, Brian. This is too right here, EarthPercent. That's on their website. Bono's one, the Rise Fund, that they will not allow solutions. I should have Greta on here too. And I just send him another email. This is oh, that was three. This is on the 19th. So okay, that was the next day. Um, and then let me see, that was the 19th. And then this is, oh, I'm getting this reply, but this is from the Rise Fund. They must forward it to this other lady here. So, okay. But then tonight I contact Brian again and I let him know this is April 21st. And I let him know that, Bono and then, one wouldn't do the job. So then Bono opened the Rise Fund for environmental solutions with Steve Jobs' wife, Laureen Powell Jobs, and friends, and, to achieve what one has refused to, and so hasn't the Emerson Collective, which is Laureen Powell Jobs' organization. And they they send me an email, no, you're right, and we don't take unsolicited, we only work with people we know. And I'm like, well, like that's the equivalent of someone telling Steve Jobs, no, we won't even talk to you, we don't know you, we don't care if maybe you have the best computer, no, we're going to hang out with our proven failure buddies over here. But now, look at this. Look at this. This is just unbelievable. This is right here from the Emerson Collective website. I took this off of the website today. Unsolicited submission policy. And oh, yeah, you agree your submissions and their contents will automatically become the property of Emerson Collective without any compensation to you. There is no obligation for the Emerson Collective to review, consider, or otherwise use the submission. They may even may use or redistribute the submissions and their contents for any purpose and in any way, and there is no obligation to keep any submissions confidential. Well, I didn't ask them. I don't believe that this was out here when I used to bother them. And they just can't be bothered with solutions that they're pretending to seek. I did not include them on this distribution here because how nice of them to just steal my intellectual property that I have worked for 28 years to try to get the world so that I could solve desperately needed global problems. And because I asked Laureen Powell Jobs to achieve her goal, that she's just going to steal. And this is what they do. This is their policy. You can read it right here. This is theirs. That is just unbelievable. Right there, the Emerson Collective. Right there, right there. So people call her a communist. Gee, whew, I'm like, wow, how nice of these thieves. That's so. I said Bono needs to have the environmental solutions he pretends to work for put in his hands. You must put the environmental educator and Bono's and all your EarthPercent partners' hands, which definitely includes Coldplay, and achieve your goal, Brian. See all the emails I've sent you in the past few days. So I sent this, so Brian's going to get this, in the morning of Earth Morning 2022. So here we go, Brian Eno. Now, do I expect Brian to step up to the plate? Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, I just have 20 and a half years of experience of knowing that no environmental voice will do this. And people that he is collaborating with, people he works with, people that he is promoting as cares so much, like like Chris Martin and Coldplay, that they don't. They won't lead. They're Mickey Mousing around out here with absolutely minimal work while refusing light years better. But I will be hitting up Brian Eno, and because no one else will allow solutions, every environmental voice out there since November of '93. So, will Brian Eno be any different? Well, I'm giving him the opportunity to. Otherwise, he truly needs to close his doors. So, stay tuned, people, and respect this planet. It is the one livable planet that we know of, and we are just trashing it. And I'm not the lunatics out there telling you that you can't live your life and live a very modern life. We can just all do it responsibly, okay? So, stay tuned, people.